Right, well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in the underground cavern of the car park with Ling, the superstar, and we're going to go to IKEA. And we're going to show you the bike paths of Chengdu, which are pretty good actually. The automatic gate opened at last. Okay, into the heat. I'm already out of breath because this bloody temperature is crazy. Somewhere over 30 at the moment, but we're going up to 35 soon. It's hot. Wow. I've got my wet hat on because you need a wet hat in this temperature. So we're going to show you the bike paths of Chengdu now. Chengdu is like a massive city. There's 9 million people in London. There's 21 million or something in Chengdu, so it's on a different scale to most places in Europe. But it's still only a tier 2 city in China. So it's not, we're just going to get out of the barricaded door with all the security. Getting busy. So, just see where super wife is. Don't know. We'll wait here for her. Don't know what she's doing. Yeah, so it's a big city, 21 million people, and it's a fairly nice place actually, considering it's so packed with people. You can get just about whatever you want, and life here is good. So like London, it's got an M25 equivalent, which is the 4th ring road. We're going to ride around the 3rd. You go first.
I'll follow you.
Down to Supo and turn right onto the other side of the road. Okay. Yeah. And traffic rules are vague in China, but everybody gets on and gets along, so it's not bad. So we're just heading up here to the top of the road, which is the ring road, the 3rd ring road, and we're at kind of 9 o'clock, and we're going to head down to 6 o'clock down to IKEA, show you what the cycling's like, and also it means we can get some meatballs for lunch and a can of beer. And it's pretty hot at the moment, not fantastically hot, but when it gets to 35 I tend just not to come out, but when it's below 35 we venture out. But the UV's high, so I've got to slap on loads of sunscreen, and that's the pain in the arse bit really. Just wait for this car to go past. There we go. And then this is what I mean, fairly vague rules. We just mosey over the road, turn left here. We're on the kind of the pedestrian path really, down the 3rd ring road at the moment, and the cycling infrastructure is pretty damn good, I think, really, and everybody kind of gets along with everybody else, no fights. She's missed it, so I'm going to go down here. Get on the proper ring road. She's not concentrating. Here we go. Right. At the moment we're going against the traffic, but having said that, there's no real hard and fast rule, so it's not bad. Everybody lets you get on with it, and you let everybody else get on with it. It's quite easy. She's over there on the pedestrian path, which actually is a little bit nicer because it's in the shade a lot more with the trees. Lots of trees in Chengdu. We'll just slow down and wait for her here. We'll let her go first. Got these truck signs from the UK, the slow vehicle, because my one worry is for when you're on a busy road, people driving up your arse if they're not concentrating. So we put these signs on which just brighten the back of the bikes up and make them stand out. Because they're only aluminium and thin, so they're very light. These bikes we bought in China because it's difficult to fly from Europe with bikes, with electric bikes, because we've got lots of mountains to do, because we're aiming to get down to Vietnam and then go back across China when we've done Thailand and all those kind of places, Laos, Cambodia. And then we go back across China and we're going to aim to go to Chengdu in the east, then get a ferry to South Korea and then go cycle down from Incheon to Seoul to Busan. And then hopefully from South Korea we can go to Taiwan or we can go to Japan. And then vice versa, we'll go to the other one, Japan or Taiwan. And then we'll probably come back to China. And that's really what we've got planned at the moment as far as it goes. But at the moment Ling's mum is pretty ill in hospital. And she's getting on a bit as well, she's 90 something. So we kind of stuck here a little bit just before we set off. But having said that, the weather's been so hot, as it seems to have been everywhere. Look at these cars. They just stop and wait for you, you know, it's not bad. Nobody's very aggressive because there's so many cameras here in China that apart from all the daft arguments about it being a police state, well, you never really see police. But people obey the law because all the bad ones have been caught, really. There's so many cameras that nobody speeds, and generally speaking, nobody drives like an idiot because they've been removed from the road. But as I say, we're going against the flow here. What we're going to do at this big flyover is turn right across this road here, and then when we get to the other side, we're going to turn left and go down the correct side of, if you want, like the correct side of the third ring road for maybe about 10-15 kilometers, something like that. We'll wait here because it's just Ling has got this convenience of parking by curbs, which is really good.
Just carry on the third ring road, yeah?
Yeah, over there and down. Yeah, go over on that side. Yeah. All right. Ready, here we go. Doo-doo-doo. I mean, Chengdu is pretty flat, so you don't really need electric assistance. But in this weather, it's just nice because it just gives you that little bit of advantage. lots of these, like this green bike in front. We get lots of these rental bikes. There's millions of them. People just use them all the time, just pick them up. They're all in good condition. So we go down here. They're all in pretty good condition, so you just go and pick one up. It's about, I don't know, 10 pence an hour or something like that to use them. Everybody's generally quite compliant and it's pleasant. Here we go, the countdown. So everybody goes before obviously it gets to 0. Here they go. Right, let's go. But we're always a bit more cautious on the bikes. Just some firecrackery thing going off. So you share the bike lane with all these scooters. They're all electric. So China is just fantastic for electric cars and scooters. Can't beat it because over half the cars are electric and all the motorcycles are electric. So it's quiet and there's little pollution. When I used to come here 20 years ago, after we got married, the pollution used to be horrendous. You'd never see more than 100, 200 meters in front of your face. But now, it's like anywhere else and you get fresh air and you can see what you're doing. We're just taking it easy at the moment. Just about 20 kilometers. These are European bikes. We insisted on getting the European ones because that's what we like. Because they're not like American ones that go 20 miles an hour. These are 15 miles an hour flat out on using the power. And obviously you can go faster than that. You can go a bit faster downhill, or you can pedal like hell and go faster. But 15 miles an hour or 25 kilometers is is a kind of a sweet spot, and that's just a fantastic speed for going anywhere because you're slow enough to see things. You're not going fast enough, so you're going to fall off and hurt yourself if you do come off. You know, it's all pretty doable and good. So these junctions, okay, there's a car here on our left, but you see he stops, and these are the cars kind of give way because we're on a bike. And they keep edging forward. I mean, it's just whoever gets there first, but nobody's aggressive. Or we haven't really met any aggressive drivers. Because like I said, the aggressive ones are all in court and fined off the road or locked up or whatever. Drink driving used to be a thing in Chengdu. There was a lot of corruption and people used to get away with it. But again, they seem to have wiped it out. The Chinese government are very good at wiping things out like that. And crime and any problems, they'll clamp down on. I mean, you know, people get an idea of China being horrible with the government, and it's not the government choice, but for me, they certainly can sort things out. I mean, the infrastructure here, this road, how many lanes is this? It's 6 lanes in each direction. 6 or 7, something like that. And the ring roads, they have like 4 concentric rings around the city. So it's a very easy way to get. And these are proper rings, you know, it's not like the North Circular or anything like that, South Circular. They're not rubbish ring roads, they're proper ring roads. With flyovers, so everything's really good. And anyway, so yeah, we're heading to IKEA, and what we'll do is when we get there, we'll stop and have some meatballs. She's shouting, hold on. Yeah? The loo. Okay, we're gonna go up here. She needs to pee, I think. Hope it's peeing not shit, but we'll find out. Now. Yeah. Fuck it. No, I'm waiting for you. Okay. Okay, we'll wait while she goes pee pee. So we will go back on the psychopath. There's a river she's on about, but I don't fancy going down the river because I don't know the way and I don't think it even goes down there. So, these sharing bikes are really good. No battery, but they're just really good. All good quality. All work. If they don't work, we get rid of them. And you just unlock them with your phone with Alipay or something. You get a lot of this beeping, but really what they're just letting you know that they're there, you know, so they're not saying get out of the way, they're just letting you know that they're there in case they think you don't see them and you're going to veer into the path. It's all very nice. So where we're going, 23 kilometres down this little underpass. And I think these yellow lines here, like this one, they indicate if the water is sitting in the bottom and it's up to there, then it's 30 centimetres, a foot deep at the bottom. And so you can gauge how much water's in there if it's been raining heavily and it hasn't drained away. Because they have a lot of problems with drainage in China because, you know, obviously they build things and don't quite get them to the standards they need to be. And the problem is that if there's a deluge of rain, and like in a thunderstorm, these underpasses can become quite deadly because you get trapped down there with a lot of water and you're fucked basically. So you measure how much water's there by how if it's up to the yellow line, and you can see there's 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot they measure. So if it's above 3 foot, you know, take life in your hands. But you can see, look, they keep it quite nice. There's flowers and God knows what, and they obviously weed it and look after things. And we're coming up to a junction now, a road coming in from the right, so all you need to do is check there's nothing coming behind, nothing coming turning right, and if you're all clear behind, then you're all clear basically. It's not as formalised as kind of the Netherlands or places like that where people will, or Germany where people will shout at you for doing the minor infraction of the rules, because there aren't really too many rules. The rule is just everybody keep going, nobody crash, and you know, if you want to go the wrong way, you can go the wrong way, but it's you just know it's a little bit more dangerous than going the correct way on the cycle path. But you know, like you can see, there's no stupid lines down the middle saying this way, that way, and all the rest of it on this cycle path. Anyway. And there's no screaming motorcycles, which is really nice, going around the ring road. Everything is electric. And these little ones, like the one the girl there in the white top is riding, they'll barely scrape up the same speed as the bikes when we're going as hard as we can pedal. But the more substantial ones go faster, like the one the guy here is on, the guy in the black shirt. And you get a lot of delivery drivers. You have a massive delivery culture here. Whatever you want will arrive at your door, you know, in a few hours if you order it. So there's a massive cadre of delivery drivers from various companies. And look, if you need a bike helmet, you just stop at the little store by the road, or sunglasses. This is a really good thing about China, is it's the capitalism of it is just so fantastic. Everything works. Very little of the infrastructure has a problem. You do see these big disasters on TV, now and again there's a big disaster, but I think this is inevitable just because of the scale of it. I mean, we have things happen in the UK. Train crashed last week, I think, in the UK, and but when they're going 200 miles an hour like the Chinese ones do, obviously it's a bigger disaster when their trains crash than when ours crash when they're pedaling along at 50 miles an hour. So I just check behind, everything's clear. So we just go and make sure nothing's coming up there. Now if we went up that bicycle path on the right hand side, the pedestrian path if you like, I mean you can ride on it, it's just more scenic, it's more curvy, and it's got a little up and down hills that you can see, but there's more shade there, so if it was in the height of today, which will probably be about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, when it gets really hot, I might ride down there slower speed and just try and expend as little energy as possible. But this is just such an easy ride. The bike's on its lowest setting and we just pedaling along at 22 kilometres. And if you don't go too fast, then you'd have to do silly stops. You know, you just want to blend in with all the rest of the traffic, really, to make your life easy. Make everybody else's life easy. Nobody's trying to get anywhere at top speed. Because again, they're all too hot. Everybody's too hot. And right now, you just cruise past them. I get a bit more. She's very good at overtaking somebody and slowing down. And all the signs, all the road signs are in English as secondary language. So if you get lost, you can follow those, but the GPS is pretty good. And anyway, this road is so super simple. So we're just going down. We're just going anti-clockwise down the third ring road from 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So it's so easy. Look, they've got the stall out, but they've got it in the shade because it's just too hot to sit out in the sunshine. When I used to come here 20 years ago or 25 years ago when we got married or whenever, back in the late 90s, you know, I'd joke and say, look, it'll be nice when it's finished, China, because it was complete, everything was being built, everything, there was cranes everywhere, it was fantastically dusty, polluted. All the cars, obviously, at that time were petrol cars, and they weren't emission controlled, and it was just horrible. And a lot of the cooking used to be done on charcoal stoves outside people's doors, little charcoal stoves, and the air pollution was just horrendous. But now it's like any other modern city, but it's actually better than, I would say it's better than London. And the fact that there's twice as many people just says something, really. They decide to do something, the Chinese, and they just do it. They've got so much money, their income. Look, everybody just nobody stops. Everybody just merges on in a kind of a gentle way, and they get it done without crashing and without hitting anybody else. It's quite nice, really. The road positioning is difficult to get used to because they just kind of make up their own lane, you know, if they want to merge right, they'll vaguely turn right. And, you know, if you were in the UK or in Germany or in Holland or in a European country, most of them, people would be screaming that you've gone slightly out of your own lane, and, you know, there's supposed to be room for 3 cars, now there's only 2. But in China, people just accept that you just merge and get on with it. And unless you bring the traffic to a halt, nobody starts screaming at you. It's pretty nice. I haven't seen any bad accidents since I've been here. And people are pretty disciplined, like the guy there walking with his phone, keeps to the side, he knows it's a bike track, you know. People aren't stupid. And obviously this is more of a major junction. It's the base of the flyover, so we've got a traffic light controlled thing, which at the moment are red. So we'll hang on here. Geez, it's hot when you stop. And you soon get used to the hierarchy of these little electric tuk-tuk things with kids in. You know, you think, well, that's dangerous, no helmet, full of kids, but it's no different to a Dutch cycling cargo bike with a couple of kids in it and a dog. We're just making sure nothing's coming here. There we go, it turned green as we were on. Apologise in advance to anybody from Germany because I hate this kind of riding where you think, well, it's clear, so I'll go. Never mind the red man or the red bike. But it works. And then back in top gear. We're doing about 50 pedal strokes. My bike's a little bit lower geared than hers because I'm anticipating the hills to come, so I put a smaller chain wheel on it by 4 teeth. So I've got something like a 38 instead of a 42, just to give me a little bit of advantage on the steep hills because I'm obviously fatter than her and carry a bit more weight usually. And if you look behind, make sure nothing's coming, and then you're fine. They've got a stop sign there coming from the side road, but nobody ever does stop really, unless you're completely blocking them. And the only noise you get really is that you get the occasional truck like that pickup thing that's got a internal combustion engine, but most of it is just tyre noise. Most of them are electric cars because they're so much cheaper to run. China having quite a sensible energy policy that means electricity is cheap as hell, so people are incentivized to get an electric car, and they're probably subsidized as well. It's not like the UK where you're spending a fortune to charge it up. A charging station, they're cheap. Cheap here. But you know, people say, oh, it's police state and everything in China, but you know, you try and find the police and there's none around. This kind of legacy infrastructure, like the electric pole there, is a bit unfortunate, but you know, they do draw the line spending money doing something that's completely unnecessary, like moving it. And look at the bus shelters, you know, there's no rough sleeping in them, there's no graffiti, there's no drugs, it's just so nice. So pleasant. Mind you don't bump yourself on the side. The roads are very American in scale, wide lanes and lots of lanes, but yet they do have this completely different to America because they do have this fantastic cycling infrastructure everywhere where the surface is good, you know, nobody's getting killed, nobody's getting knocked off. It's just fantastic. See if we can see those lines again that indicate when it's flooding how deep the water is. Down here, yeah, there's blue signs on the right that tell you the depth. I don't know what it says in Chinese, but it means if it's flooded and it's up to this line, then it's 90 centimetres, 3 foot deep. And if it's up to this line, it's 2 foot deep. And if it's up to this line, it's 1 foot deep. So you've got the confidence to carry on riding if it's a foot deep and you just take it easy. You know, you're not going to ride into a 6 foot lake and get yourself completely underwater and ruin your bike. So but you see the trick to bike lanes, if you only drive a car, is to have a good surface, because if you've got a good surface, people will use them. And they're probably saying be careful because this temporary road there over some hole. Happy bean. Cheers so far. There we go, nobody's just stopping in the shade, taking advantage of the shade, unlike us. Oh. Darling? The cars can turn right on red, like in America, so you've got to take it easy. Happens to all these motorbikes here. Come in. Cars can come as well, but they take it easy. They do it because, like I say, all the ones they caught in accidents have been squeezed out of the system already. There's very few nutters left, and people aren't annoyed and mad. And plus, because most people are in electric cars, they know that he's stopping for me. That's really nice. People know that their driving's being recorded, you know, on GPS and all this. So if they do something stupid, if they tear around at 50 miles an hour, it's going to be spotted pretty quick, and the police will come on your door and knock on your door and download your vehicle information and this, that and the other, and you'll be fucked. To a greater or lesser degree, you're not going to get, you know, your head chopped off, but you're going to get fined. And if you're a repeat offender, you're going to end up going to get some custodial or some other punishment. Well, this is nice with the shade, eh? Really nice. We're doing 25 kilometers at the moment, so it's just nice. It's a slight downhill. And look, everywhere you go, there's all these bikes. These little rental bikes. So. And China's kind of forced into this bicycle infrastructure, I suppose, because there's a lot of bikes already. There always was a lot of bikes in China, flying pigeons and God knows what, right up to the modern stuff. But unlike America, where they've never had that culture. But here we go. You can see the cars. I mean, there's the local lane here on the left where you can do your turning in and out, and there's almost a highway lane, which is just, you know, the main straight on bit, which is 4 cars deep, and we're going faster than they are, generally speaking, and we're not even barely pedaling. So using a bike is so popular because it's just better, and the air's clean, and you can tell the electric cars from the internal combustion ones because the colour of the number plates. So anything with a green number plate is electric, and anything with a blue plate is petrol or diesel. Like that truck is electric, you know. And there's a big helicopter there, some Russian looking mill thing just about to fly over the road. There we go, look at that. Wherever you look, there are cameras, hundreds of cameras, and at night especially, these ones on the road, on the gantries, they flash constantly, like taking number plates. So if someone is driving like an arsehole, or if they're wanted by police, for example, the police they can follow them anywhere. You've got no chance. There must be some giant control room somewhere with people in there following people around, waiting to see when they're going to pick them up. So consequently, you can't move around if the police are after you, because they're going to find you, and there's facial recognition everywhere. So every time you go past the camera, it's probably running your facial recognition and it's flashing up, you know. This is John Valentine, Western from UK. Here's another helicopter. On the same one going around again. Which is, I don't know, it depends how you look at it, but honestly, you know, you just, whenever we say, can we leave the bikes here or something, people say, of course, there are cameras, you know, and who's going to be stupid enough to steal something like your bicycle or a car or a moped when there's facial recognition? So unless you're wearing a full mask, and even then they reckon they can get you with your eyes, they can recognise your eyes. So who's going to be daft enough? Now this is a bit dodge. People are turning a little right here across us. So I'm just going to go with Ling. Give him a wave just because we're nice. It's a white car, what's he going to do? I don't know if you see the tree just above that footbridge on the left. But it's not a tree, it's a mobile phone mast, and they disguise them as trees just to make the things look better. You'll probably see it more clearly in a second after this bus stop. Yeah. They should ban horns, really. Here comes a helicopter, and there's your mobile phone mast. Just disguised as a tree at the top to blend in. International community, that says. God knows what that means. American Garden. For the Americans, huh? Boy, she's stopping. Oh, that's good. You stopping? Yeah,
Right in the shade.
exactly. Got a bit of shade. Trouble is, I've stopped in top gear here, so it's going to be a pain in the ass to get going. All these bike paths are kind of covered trenches, so I wonder what's underneath them. Maybe it's metro line. Go! And wherever you go as well, there are lots of areas regarding the earthquake. Because so this sign here says emergency parking, and there was one earlier on that said makeshift tent area. And since, fuck's sake, and since I had that big earthquake, 25 years ago, whenever, oh fuck, I'm on the path. I'm going on a red light just to catch up with her. Green light. It's disappeared. Flashing. Here she is. Waiting for me. Very kind of a good wife. Yeah, since the earthquake, there's lots of these emergency areas that you're supposed to gravitate to if there's an earthquake. And we did have one a couple of months ago when we were staying with the sister. The whole place shook. And it was something like 5 on the Richter scale, and it was, I think, 250 kilometers away, according to the web. And they have websites that you can look at, and it tells you where everything is. So getting a bit thirsty here now. Here we go, the lines again. 90 centimeters, 60 and 30. Flood lines, I call them, but I don't know what they're called really. Because sometimes when it rains, it really does rain, and it's remarkable how much water can dump in just a couple of minutes. And these underpasses become almost impassable. Shade, hey. Oh. And it's remarkable, apart from that big horn from the truck earlier on, how few horns and how little hooting goes on. Everybody's just getting on with life. This white car is a bit of a dodge here. Thank you. Xie. We're down to the Tianfu flyover now, so we should be just nearly there. We could go with this footbridge, I think, in a minute. Chinese Robin Reliant there. Yeah, all these they're made of these blocks that are lowered in position with cranes. These cycle paths. So there's obviously a big tunnel underneath, and sometimes when you stop, you can feel them. If somebody else rides past, you can feel it bouncing. And so you wonder, is there a metro line under here, or is it just cables or water pipes or utilities or sewer? But the whole thing can come up if you notice. They've got lifting points on every one. So 10 minutes they could have the whole street lifted out of the way. But I've got no idea. It might be the metro actually, because you can imagine this being the width for a train. And hence that's why this is the width for a cycle path. Who knows? Be interesting to find out. Car there. The electric cars are very quiet, obviously, so you can't. You got to be careful. Right, we could have gone over this pedestrian, but they've got it blocked off for some reason. Bikes go straight on, it says. Well, I guess that's what it says. Who knows? And on the left is IKEA. She spotted it. So we'll turn left here, which is a bit of a dodgy thing to do. Plus all this traffic, but there's a set traffic light, so it'll be fine. If we get across now in time before they'll go. So look, we really want the green, no, that's red, fuck. Right. So we'll go down and try the next one. Stop here, wait for this one. So effectively to cross the roads, these big roads, you just use the pedestrian infrastructure. But it's meant for bikes as well, it's a bit of both. So it's not as if you're mowing everybody down to get across. It's hot when we stop. I slathered on their sun protection, but I don't know if it's... find out later if it's done its job. This guy on the bike is talking to her, but I think she's ignoring him. This is China, and the default rule is be rude to people when I speak to you. Don't know what she's doing. Fucking about something or other. What was he asking you? Right. I haven't got them. They're in the no. Buy some IKEA. It's one thing they sell. It's Allen keys. Shit, my ankle is burning. There we go. They have a third sense telling you it's gonna go green. Let's go. Leave a little bit of room so I can manoeuvre, because we've got to go between these posts. Give it a sharp turn. The blessed shade. Hallelujah, hallelujah. We need to go across here, so we wait. Yeah.
That's IKEA.
It is?
We're going to have a lunch then.
Yep. Meatballs and ice cream.
It's a bit too early for breakfast. For lunch.
What time is it?
Have salmon. 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Have something and go back.
Okay.
It's too hot now.
Okay. My eyes are tickling, but I don't want to rub them because that sun lotion gets in my eyes. How far is this from home?
How far away from this one to home? Well, it's about 15 kilometers away. Or 16, I think.
15, yeah.
16.
Okay, well,
16.
same thing.
It's not far.
Okay.
Very close.
Here we go. Are you ready? Go, go, go. we go. We take a vague cut across the other side of the road. In here, IKEA. Here we go. Just like the IKEA in Gateshead. No difference really. I suppose the same as IKEAs all over the world. Prices seem about the same as the UK in here. Prices everywhere else are a lot cheaper. But you know, IKEA is IKEA, it's got a bit of a pull factor. Down to the little parking area. Hey.